sau đó sẽ đào vào tàu chế trong xe rồi nên lúc xe hơi chẳng chẳng là một công rồi của lúc xe hơi tập bé học program hoài tiền chính năm mong cho nó cái như sau đó sẽ đào của dân chỉ là cha là mọi người dạy TV trong xe tàu rồi nên lúc xe chẳng chẳng lúc nào cũng mấy thuộc khoa chẳng chẳng là một công rồi của thia nếu giờ Aden Thao tụi đó là chuyện sáng của thia giờ của tụi nephew là của tụi sinh tử thia chị nó cái như sau đó sẽ đào anh lên đó trong xe rồi có lúc xe hơi thia Aden.
Thank you so much, Geena.
Yes, cũng trong xe hay tiệt có vậy ít busy con gọi đi thia, giờ bé ít tu mong hay tiệt có chỗ lùa lại giờ có yên sành một tàu thia có vậy ít championship cho bé để cho mong vậy sợ chị thông can tu giờ cũng là một hài lọ này chị trong xe tàu cái
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Giờ lên đây chị, khi mình chỉ sao, giờ vì lý cha có họ chỉ xe số kia này nó hay tiệt có thầu có số pi này, giờ lý cha có họ tiệt có giờ giá một trái một tàu thia, cái giờ của tụi mình nhiều mà cũng chỉ cả kia là okay.
Yeah, so it's been man, it's been a long journey, and we've been very busy these past few months, and this upcoming new year into 2023. And I know we'll speak a little bit more about that of this upcoming year, and I'm very excited about it. I'm sure a lot of the people back at home already know what's going on, but I'm very excited. But yeah, so this it feels like we've been doing this for a long time. But in reality, we've only been doing this racing stuff for only about 4 years now, and man, 4 years it feels like we've been doing it forever. So all the way back to where I first remember doing it, back when I was 15 years old, when I first started racing, never. If you told me that we'll be traveling the world racing motorcycles one day, I'd never believe you. When we first got into this sport, I only wanted to do it as a hobby. I wanted just to try it out. And then, that's how things go. We fall in love with it, and then we tend to get better with it, and then we get more opportunities, and then, now we're here going to the world stage, racing the world levels, and I'm very excited for this year, especially this year for 2023.
So, do you remember your first motorcycle?
I do. Yeah, it was a Kawasaki Ninja 250.
Okay.
So it was a small bike. It was a learner bike, and when I first started riding it, I consider myself as an okay rider right now, but I was, very bad back then. I would drop the bike, I would stall it, and it was a mess back then. But that's how we learn. As time goes on, we make those mistakes and we learn through it.
Did you think that God started like at age 15 that you were too young, or you see other people who's younger than you, or people who's older and they're scared like what start?
I think if you think about it, in the racing world, in the racing program, age 15 is a little late.
Oh, okay.
So that's considered late. But if you're just riding on the street just to ride around town, then 15 would be a little early to be riding a motorcycle. Because when I first got my motorcycle, I didn't even have my driver's license yet at the time.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I got my driver's license a whole year after I got my first motorcycle. So before I even started driving, I was already riding motorcycles. I was already racing motorcycles before I even started driving.
Oh, okay. I have a daughter. She's 15. Okay, and she was like, "Mom, I think that I'd rather ride a motorcycle." Because I feel that I probably have more control, because I guess when you start, you're riding bike, right?
Yeah.
And then now you feel like, okay, if I'm going to go to school, I'm going to do different things, right?
Yeah.
She's like, I don't think I can drive a big car. And then I'm telling her, oh no, I don't want to drive a motorcycle.
Yeah.
What if somebody hit you?
Yeah.
So, is that one of the reasons? Maybe we should drive a motorcycle, or you just love car feeling out in the air? What make you, love it so much?
Well, there's different purposes for motorcycles. Me personally, I don't ride a motorcycle every day. I don't ride a motorcycle, around town. I don't have my own personal motorcycle. Every time I hop on a motorcycle is when I'm racing. That's the only time I ever ride a motorcycle.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so there's, if people are thinking about it of, hey, I want to get into riding a motorcycle, maybe to commute to work, to the gym or whatever, or just to have fun. There's a lot of pros and cons with it. I wouldn't make that my only source of transportation because these past few days we've been having heavy rain. You're more likely to get hurt on a motorcycle. But if it's something that you could just have fun on, just enjoy the wind, enjoy a weekend ride up in the mountains or something, then yeah, of course, motorcycle is very fun.
Oh, okay.
But me personally, the way I ride my motorcycles is when I'm only racing.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you did all the training to do car racing lah.
Yes, all my training and all my the ways I learned how to ride a motorcycle was always on a closed track. So I was never on the road.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. So how do you feel? Do her first time. And then go do her first racing. How did you feel? Because you know you have to go through all those training, right?
Yeah.
And then after all of that, and then the first time, I want to know what does Aden think the first time? Come on, yeah.
Okay, the first time, man, the first time we ever raced, it was definitely different because that was my first race ever, and I've taken a lot of championship titles. I've taken a lot of wins in my life, but that one was definitely one of my most nervous ones for sure.
Because now you're there.
Yeah.
You have the people next to you,
Yeah.
right? And first time you're like, oh, I did all this training. Okay, I'm ready to go race.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How
did you feel right there at that moment?
My first race ever. It's very nerve wracking because I think I did my first race ever 4 weeks into first learning how to ride a motorcycle.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, so time, it went by very fast. So I learned how to ride a motorcycle, and then we did track day training, and then I got my racer's license, which is a license that we need in order to race motorcycles. And I think like week 4 is when we first did our first race ever, and I was only a month into first learning how to ride a motorcycle. And then 6-7 months after that, we went professional. So not even a year we went into professional racing. But back to what you're saying about the first race ever, it's definitely nerve wracking. And for being the first race ever, we didn't do as good as we hoped for. I think we were like 18th place out of like 25 riders.
No, that's
our first race ever.
But I'm just saying because. Got to can't joke right?
Yeah.
And to me, if I was a motorcycle racing person like you, I think that her first time, if I'm there, that's probably call memorable that we remember. Probably like, wow, this is the day I started. I was really nervous, good this, and then.
Yeah, it was definitely different because when we actually line up, and we start going through corners, and we're doing 120 miles per hour, like from me to you. We're this close. We're going through turns and everything. And for being the first race, it was definitely it was new.
Yeah.
Even with all the training that I've done, it was definitely a new experience that we had to learn over time. But
wow,
we learned very fast. We learned very quickly. Yeah.
Yeah. I just wanted your impression that you remember the first time. Okay, now talk about the first time. Your first win. How did you feel about that?
First win. I still remember this one. My first win ever. Actually, I didn't even know I won.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because I believe I was still a novice. So I think only a week or so after my first race ever, I didn't even know I'd take a first place because we're racing 2 separate brackets in one race. So there will be the experts that are gridded above us, and they get to take off first, and then here we are as a novice. And we get to take off right after them.
Oh, okay.
So we're not racing the group ahead of us. We're racing the group
behind. Okay.
So there's 2 different classes in one race. And we took off, I had a good lead, but there's so much people that's on track. You don't know who you're racing with. Like I said, there's, 40, 50 other riders on track with you. Some of them you're racing them, some of them you're not. And that's, you don't know who's who anymore. But we came back, we did our race, and everyone was so excited, and I was like, what are you guys so excited about? And they're like, you took first place. And then they're all telling me to go to the podium and stuff so we could get our trophies. But I'm like, are you sure? Because there's
I was just focusing on driving. So
I was like, are you sure? There's like 20 people ahead of me. But I won first place in my class. I didn't win first place overall. So that was my first place ever. I don't think it was the most memorable one, but because I didn't know I'd take first place. When I started becoming, an expert, and I was, gridded up front, there was no one ahead of me. So I'm first on the lineup grid, and I have 50 people behind me. And when lights go green and no one throughout the whole race has passed me, that's when I know for sure I took first place.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And I take those feelings a lot better. If you actually go back and watch some of my races on YouTube or on Facebook that we posted, you would see that I'm lined up, in front of everyone, and then we all take off, and we do our 6-10 laps, and then no one from the back has ever passed me. throughout the whole entire race. Yeah, so that's how I know when I took it first.
So what is most memorable out of all the races? You got Yen, got one, right?
Yeah.
Which is the most memorable and where and why?
No, that one's the easy one. That one would be Thailand for sure.
Okay.
Yeah, Thailand. We went out to Thailand. It was my first ever international race. As some of the people back at home know, this year, 2023, we'll be doing more international race, but we'll be over in Spain.
Okay.
When we went over to Thailand for that one race weekend, it was their last race weekend that Kawasaki from the United States has sent me out to Thailand to do to represent Kawasaki USA, to be their main title rider and sponsored rider to go out there in Thailand. And it was my first big international race ever. So for once in my life, I was racing not here in the United States. I was racing outside of Thailand. I was racing on a brand new bike that I've never ridden before. I was working with a different team. So the team that I work with here, I worked with them for my whole life. I worked with all of them, yeah.
But when you went there, you have a whole different team.
Yes, they were Thai people.
Okay.
The team
so
that I was
what year
with.
was that?
That was 2022.
Okay.
So the very beginning of last year.
Okay.
Yeah, so the team that I work with here, the Omika people, and I worked with them for a very long time. But going over to Thailand, it was my first international race ever. Different bike, different team, different country, so the communication was very hard.
Oh, okay.
So when I first got there and we needed stuff to be changed on the bike, hey, this is uncomfortable, can we do this? Can we do this differently? The language barrier was very hard to communicate with them.
Okay.
So, we have Google Translate. That was the best form that I could translate things to them. Yes.
Okay.
But, eventually we made things work out because, regardless of that, we're still a team. And we're all professional athletes here. We're all professional people. We know how to change things, how to work with things. And that was the first time, the world was actually watching me. Because before that, previously, we made a lot of connections of other Hmong people that was from Laos, that was from Thailand. We had some some Hmong people from Thailand actually there at the races watching me as well too. And the whole world was watching me at that race weekend. And I still remember it because, when I took that first place and we came back, I opened up my phone. And there's thousands and thousands of these messages, right, on Facebook Messenger, all my social media, my phones, and everyone's just like, congratulations, we were watching live, you did so good. And it took me a few days to finally reply back to everyone, but that was definitely my most memorable race ever. I carried the United States flag with me when we were up on the podium. I made sure to give all my sponsors, a recognition, a thank you. And, I told everyone that, I'm doing this for my homeland, the United States of America, because that's the whole reason why I was sent over there, was to represent America. And I could go on and on with this, but it was definitely my most favorable race ever. Yeah.
So in 2022, how many races did you do? You want to talk about some of the championship, in 2022?
I honestly... It'll be very hard to go back and think about how much races I did in 2022. Okay. It had to be over 50, 60 races.
Okay.
Yeah, because I race multiple race series as well. The professional race series is Moto America. I do a lot of AFM, which is local club races. I do a lot of WERA, so those are all races throughout California. And I also do a lot of coaching too. So I coach a lot of the beginners that are getting into racing. So I show up to their races. I do a little coaching with them as well. But it would definitely have to be over 50, 60 races just last year in 2022.
In 2022.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm just so excited to hear that you're excited what you're doing. And again, got so young. And I wanted to congratulate you on that. Now, Nick, you're racing motorcycle. There's different levels. Can you explain kind of a little bit? Because you said that each people got training brand new, and they're all different levels. You said that they race, it's on different levels, and sometimes you guys are together on the same track. Yeah. So kind of explain a little bit called different levels.
So when you first start getting into racing, there would be, first you would need your racer's license.
Okay.
So same thing as a driver's license, a motorcycle license.
Okay.
You need a separate license in order to go racing. That license and that class, they teach you how to be a safe rider, maneuvers that you can't do on track. You can't obviously bump into each other on purpose. They teach you about the flags.
Okay.
There's the white flag, which is the last lap, checker flag,
Okay.
green flag, red flag,
Okay.
yellow flag. They teach you all of that. They teach you safety hazards of the red flag and when the race needs to be stopped, etc. But when we talk about actual racing, there's actually a lot of levels of racing there is. So you have the local, which is not professional level. It was just a local club level, like AFM and WERA and Chuckwalla, CVMA, the local levels that I started out doing. So that's racing throughout the state of California. And once you are a top 3 racer out of the state of California or in that race program, then you can get signed off to race professionally in Moto America. Moto America is a professional race series throughout the United States. So it's the highest level racing in the United States. And then once you are a top 3 or top 5 rider in your class in Moto America and you want to expand overseas into international like how I'm doing, and then you could either get signed off to go to Spain or sign off to go to Thailand like how I did last year, or you could go to Japan, or you could go to Malaysia, Australia, it doesn't matter. We chose to go to Spain this upcoming year, this year in 2023, because we already went to Thailand, and the racing community is generally bigger in Spain. So there's a lot more support over there. There's a lot more funds getting thrown into the sport. So we wanted to go over to Spain, and we wanted to see how the racing is over there.
Okay, so all the trip to Spain is all set for this year.
Yep.
Okay, so what date is that you're going to be going?
So I'll be leaving next week already. Yeah, I'll be leaving next week already.
Okay, so we have to follow you. We have to support you and all that.
Yeah, so I'll be leaving next week. The racing doesn't actually start until April, the middle of April, but we'll be leaving next week, the end of January. We'll be doing a lot of training with the team. Okay. It's a brand new bike and a brand new team, just like how I spoke about in Thailand. Yes. Okay. So it's brand new everything, brand new people that I'm working with. So we're gonna go a few months early to do a lot of training on the team, just to get the bike and everything test and running for me. Get used to the communication barrier so we don't show up and we feel like we're gonna scramble, right? So we want to get to know each other. We want to get to know the team, the bike, the tracks that we're gonna be racing on, all of that. And I want to just take the time to explore Spain a little bit, because all the times that I've gone overseas to Thailand, it's all business racing stuff. So you don't really have time to go to that country, enjoy the scenery, and enjoy the time being there. But I'm definitely excited to go to Spain. It's definitely,
Well, explain a little bit, because you're going to go to Spain, and then again, you're going to race, it's called a World Championship.
Yep.
Okay, so now because of a World Championship, and then there's different levels and everything, and they pick the best rider, how to go there. Can you share a little bit about the process now? How did you, get into the best rider? Because they're just not going to pick somebody.
Yeah, so, when we're talking about World Championship like that, we have people that come from all over the world. Okay. So the racing is going to be taken over in the country of Spain, but all the riders there are not all people from Spain. There's people from Italy. I'm the only one from the United States that's going. We have Japan. We have people back from Thailand that I raced with back there. So people all over the world competing for this championship over in Spain. And to be one of the people that could actually qualify, you need to be a top 3 rider in your class. So like for Moto America last year, I finished 5th in the championship. So I'm that top 5 rider. Okay. I could get signed off to go over into Spain because it's a point system that we do. Okay. If you're a Moto America rider and your points is not as high as some others, then you might not get signed off, or you might not get picked up to go to race another country like that.
Okay. So in 2022, of all the races God doing, right? Then it's by point system, and they add all that up.
Yep.
Okay. So how many people was involved in it on the point system?
There was a lot. There was about 70 or so people all trying to find a seat in that race series over there, and only I think 28 of them got accepted. Okay. Yeah. So it's really competitive. It's very competitive, yes. So 50 of them got eliminated. But even though you get eliminated, you still have other options to go to other places, like back to Thailand or Japan. Yeah, but Spain, as of right now, it's where a lot of the funds are getting thrown into right now. Yeah.
Okay, so everybody's wanted to go to Spain. That's why you had a lot of people that wanted to.
A lot of the best riders in the world come out of Spain.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So, whoever wins the world championship, let's say you went to Spain.
Yeah.
What do you get? You get a big old trophy. You get a little one.
You get a big trophy. You get of course, you get your name. Your name. You get recognition. And but the main thing that everyone really wants, they don't care about the trophy. They don't care about the check that you get. They want another opportunity. If you are a top 3 rider in the R6
and you
Cup,
win in Spain,
yes,
you're top 3.
Yeah, then you get into World Superbike or MotoGP, which is the highest level of racing in the world. So these races that we're doing right now in Spain, in Europe, in Thailand, Japan, these are world class series, but it's not the highest level in the world yet. Once you get through these world-class series and you get to graduate and you're a top 3 rider, then you go into the highest level racing in the world, which is MotoGP and World Superbike. You are guaranteed a ride if you are a top 3 rider in these classes.
Okay, so that's why now you're going to be competing with everybody around the world. Like you just say Japan, Thailand, Spain. So the best riders is going to be there.
Yeah.
Are you nervous?
I'm very nervous, but we've been through all this already. It's the same thing. You go out there, you teach, you have all these people in the past that have coached you and taught you, how to do this, how to do that. That's when your training really comes into hand, because like I said, we've done all of this before. It's nothing new, and we've been coached all this. I've taught people this kind of stuff, because I've been a mentor, I've been a coach. And you go out there, you do your best, you trust your team, you trust your bike, and of course there's a lot of pressure back at home. Like when we went to Thailand, there's people that are watching you, and regardless of it, I'm very excited. I'm very nervous at the same time, but I think it's good to be a little bit nervous, especially stepping up like that.
Well, just remember, some of the riders that they're going to be racing with you.
Yeah.
Don't be nervous, because they're some of the same riders that you were,
racing
against.
I know everyone is nervous as well. All my competitors, all the people that I'm going to be racing with, they're all nervous as well. So like I said, there's nothing to be worried about. Just remember your training, trust your bike, especially trust yourself, and just go out there and do your best. Yeah.
Okay, tell us again the day that you're going to actually race. Yeah. So that we can follow you on that, and we can get so many people to follow you on that.
Yeah, so the day we'll actually be racing is the second week of April. So April 15th or 16th. That's when the first race actually starts. But way before then, we'll have a lot of updates of upcoming events, upcoming races, and who knows? Racing is always weird as well. Things get postponed until later dates, or things happen early. But before that, we'll be doing a lot of training, so we'll be posting a lot of that as well. And we'll do a lot of videography of us in Spain as well.
So like from now until April.
Yeah.
Okay, what do you want to say to the viewers? What kind of support would you like the viewers to support you with?
It's hard to say, because I've been getting a lot of support from all the people. Especially the whole Hmong community, a lot of my sponsors. I'm getting new sponsors as we're going into Spain as well. So we've been doing a lot of meetings with a lot of different organizations as well. And I just, just a big thank you, and thank you guys for continuing to support me no matter where I go. And, I just hope to have this continuous support from not just the Hmong community, but from all the fans, all the people as well.
Okay. Yes, because if you're going to only from the United States, so we want to support Aden Thao. Now remember his name, Aden Thao. Okay, he is again go to nephew here. So gu sapo go tene not tao itu long go hi tene. Okay, but I'm sure so many people out there. He's still single. He's still young. He is Mong Championship. Racing motorcycle, and he accomplished so much though. Just 4 years he accomplished so much, and they are so proud. They're going to go to Spain to April North here. Again, everybody needs to follow him, and support him on call journey not here, because again, we wanted to make sure that you're going to be the winner, okay, when you go to Spain, and don't be nervous, okay. I'm sure that we'll be nervous for you also. Yep. Because represent the United States, and at the same time too, you're basically you're like one of our Hmong children. I can say kid because I guess I'm the older one. Championship. Tu mùa hay cho cho she sang một tàu là do motorcycle racing, okay. Vậy trong xe đâu có thể có nên nó do cho top nên nó nhỏ hay thì everybody to compete, and that you're going to be making it to Spain. Yep. Okay, so I'm really proud of you on that. The bên Hmong USA TV là very proud here, and then Nate follow Aden and then support Nate here, okay. Anything he needs, be there for him. So with that, I wanted to give you, a few minutes. What would you like to say to the audience, and then we can do our closing.
Yeah. Thank you so much for all of the support. Especially racing here in America. Racing here in America, I've got to travel I got to travel pretty much the whole country, and I've got to travel, through many states. I got to do a lot of fundraising events. Throughout the states of Minnesota, Wisconsin. I got to meet a lot of fans, a lot of Hmong people from Georgia, South Dakota, South Carolina, North Carolina, you name it. I've got to meet a lot of fans all over the country, even parts of Thailand that I previously went to just the last year. And I know I'll be meeting a lot of Hmong people out there in France as well, near Spain. I'll be making a trip over there. I know I have a lot of people that support me, and a lot of fans that are out there in the Europe side, and I'm very happy to meet a lot of these people all over the United States. And sadly, we won't be racing in the United States anymore. We're going up to the next level. We'll be racing in Spain, but I'm very excited to meet a lot of the Hmong people out there as well that's still in France. I know we have a big fundraising event that we'll be planning with the Hmong people out there as well. Well, I've met a lot of great people here in America. I met a lot of great family, great friends. We did had a lot of fun time here in the States as well. Yeah.
Okay, thank you so much, Toko, for information. Now, talk about information. Are you going to be posting a lot of this, and how to and where you're going to be, and how do people get a hold of you, or people want to come to your race and follow you, and all that? Are you going to be posting all of that on just social media? Where are you gonna be?
Yeah, so we'll be where we'll be stationed is near Barcelona.
Okay.
So
so everybody needs to follow you on Facebook, or YouTube. Where we're gonna be posting all that.
So most of it will be posted on our Facebook's account.
Okay.
That's where we're most active. That's where we do most of our posting.
Okay.
So
what's the name on the Facebook?
Cali Shine Racing.
Okay.
Cali Shine Racing.
Hear that? Cali Shine Racing. CALISHINE racing. Okay. So make sure that you guys follow Aden Thao here. Again, you have to do championship car racing. Any one last word, and then we're gonna close the show.
Yeah, so we'll be doing a lot of posting on Cali Shine Racing. I'll be doing a lot of my own personal postings as well. A lot of the posting that you see on Cali Shine Racing is a lot of stuff from my manager. I do have my personal account. It's just Aden Thao. That's where I do a lot of my own personal posting is there, and the content will be a little different. We'll be doing some vlogging over there as well. Okay. And I'm very excited, very nervous, but I'm ready to get this journey going.
Okay, yeah. We are ready to support Aden Thao here, and we are ready to follow you when he's gonna win called Spain. Okay, we're gonna do all of that. So Jean share trong này lúc share chẳng chẳng đâu lúc share hậu nó nói là một cộng đó của Geena John the Baker program nên nó Geena mong and the quý sáng này giờ Aden Thao bay từ championship ở sang một tàu nhỏ thông căn tu nên là giờ ý tu mong nhỏ đó bay nó trong fresh này thiệt and nó cái như trong này share đầu nó cũ Geena John đầu lúc share hậu nó cái như trong bay mặt cái xin gì được